Before skyscrapers measured power, before armies decided empires, there was a city that ruled the world without shouting. A city built on mud, held together by wood, and fueled by money that never slept. This is Amsterdam in the 1700s, where the streets float, the banks decide nations, and wealth moves silently through water. Amsterdam doesn't rise like other cities. It balances. Built below sea level, the city survives only because it refuses to sink. Canals cut through neighborhoods like veins. Dikes hold back the sea. Wooden poles, millions of them, are driven deep into the mud beneath every major building. Nothing here is solid unless it's engineered to be. And that mindset shapes everything. By the early 1700s, Amsterdam is one of the richest cities on Earth. Not because it conquers land, but because it controls trade. Ships crowd the harbor, masts filling the skyline like a forest of profit. Spices, sugar, silk, coffee, tobacco, porcelain, goods from every corner of the world flow through the city. Money moves faster than people. And water makes it possible. Canals aren't just transportation, they're infrastructure, storage, security, and status. The most powerful merchants live along the Grand Canal rings, their homes tall, narrow, and meticulously designed. Large windows display wealth openly, but without excess. Amsterdam doesn't flaunt. It calculates. Behind those clean facades are counting rooms, ledgers, contracts, and maps. This city runs on paperwork. Deals are signed in ink, not blood. Risk is measured. Losses are absorbed. Profit is reinvested. This is capitalism before it has a name. Daily life reflects discipline. Streets are cleaner than most European cities. Waste is managed, order is valued, noise is discouraged. Even fashion reflects restraint, dark colors, simple lines, wealth without decoration. But don't mistake order for fairness. Amsterdam's riches are global, but they are not equal. Dockworkers haul cargo from dawn until exhaustion. Sailors disappear for years at sea. Immigrants crowd cheaper districts, chasing opportunity that rarely reaches them. Enslaved labor in distant colonies fuels the system, even if the suffering happens far from the canals. Out of sight does not mean uninvolved. Religion plays a quieter role here. Amsterdam is unusually tolerant for its time on the surface. Different faiths are allowed to exist, as long as they don't disrupt business. Freedom is permitted, but only within limits. Profit comes first. The city attracts thinkers, traders, refugees, philosophers, and risk-takers. Ideas move easily here because money protects them. Printing presses operate freely. Books banned elsewhere circulate openly. Knowledge is a commodity, and Amsterdam trades in it. Yet beneath the calm order is anxiety. The sea is always waiting. Storms threaten dikes. Flooding is a constant fear. A single failure could erase neighborhoods overnight. The city's wealth depends on control, of water, of trade routes, of stability. Lose any one of those, and the illusion breaks. By the mid-1700s, cracks begin to show. Competition grows, other ports rise, wars disrupt trade routes, profits thin. The golden age isn't ending, but it's no longer guaranteed. Amsterdam responds the only way it knows how. By tightening systems. By protecting capital. By adapting quietly. No riots. No dramatic collapse. Just adjustment. Because Amsterdam understands something other cities don't. Power doesn't need noise. It needs infrastructure. Canals, banks, ships, contracts, and above all, control. This city doesn't dominate through force. It dominates by making the world pass through it. By the mid-1700s, Amsterdam still looks prosperous, but the momentum has slowed. The docks remain busy, yet competition is everywhere. London rises. Other ports challenge Dutch dominance. Trade routes become more dangerous. Insurance premiums climb. Profits thin. The city responds not with panic, but with precision. Banks tighten lending. Merchants hedge risk. Investments shift from expansion to preservation. Amsterdam becomes less adventurous and more defensive. This is the turning point. The city that once chased opportunity now focuses on protecting what it already has. And that protection creates distance. Wealth concentrates further along the canals. Merchant families retreat inward, both physically and socially. Their homes remain immaculate, but doors close more often. Business becomes quieter, more exclusive. Below them, life is harder. Dockworkers feel the slowdown first. Fewer ships mean fewer wages. Sailors wait longer between voyages. Immigrants continue arriving, but opportunity doesn't stretch as far as it once did. The system still functions, but unevenly. Amsterdam prides itself on tolerance, but tolerance has boundaries. You can worship freely. You can speak openly, but if you disrupt trade, stability ends quickly. Order is not negotiable. Colonial wealth continues to flow in: sugar, coffee, tobacco, products built on suffering far from the canals. The distance makes it easier to ignore. Amsterdam rarely sees the violence directly. It arrives refined, packaged, profitable. The city doesn't invent exploitation, but it perfects insulation from it. Morality becomes abstract. Ledger balances matter more than human cost. As long as the water flows and the numbers add up, the system is considered successful. This mindset defines the late 1700s. The sea remains the city's greatest fear. Flood defenses are constantly reinforced. Engineers monitor dikes. Maintenance never stops. One failure could undo generations of wealth. Amsterdam understands fragility better than most cities. That awareness keeps it cautious. While other cities erupt in revolution, Amsterdam hesitates. Disorder threatens trade, trade threatens stability, stability threatens nothing, so long as it holds. But history doesn't stop moving just because a city prefers control. As Europe shifts, wars disrupt shipping. Political alliances change, old advantages weaken. Amsterdam doesn't collapse, but it fades from dominance. Quietly, gracefully, almost politely, Amsterdam in the 1700s proves something rare. That power doesn't always announce itself with force. Sometimes it whispers through infrastructure. Canals instead of walls. Contracts instead of cannons. Banks instead of kings. This city mastered systems: water, money, trade, information, and for a time, those systems ruled the world. But systems demand maintenance, and distance dulls responsibility. Amsterdam didn't fall because it was greedy. It stalled because it became careful. The same discipline that built its wealth also limited its future. And yet, its legacy remains everywhere. Modern finance, global trade, urban planning, risk management. The world we live in still moves the way Amsterdam once did, quietly, efficiently, and often without asking who pays the price. That is the real story of Amsterdam 1700s. A city that floated on water and taught the world how to float on systems. If you enjoy history that goes beneath the surface, cities before the myths, wealth before the consequences, and power before it had a name, subscribe. Maury cities, Maury centuries, Maury stories where history isn't shouted, it's engineered.